Welcome back to our show. Once again, my name is Mrs. Augustina Anyanwutina. And help me welcome my friend,
Glorynezemma. Welcome back to our sweet home, Africa. It's always a pleasure to have you as our viewer. So we are here again with another topic.
That's right.
Our topic today is adopting a child in Africa. Adoption in Africa. It's a little different from the adoption that we've had so many places. So my friend and I were here to look into some of the things that we've heard about adoption in Africa and the ones that we have seen. So we'll share some of the insights and then once again give you advice in terms of what can be done with adoption. Because you have legal ways of adopting a child and you also have illegal ways of adopting a child. So I'll throw it to my friend and then we'll dive into the topic. So my dear friend, you've heard about adoption in Africa.
Yes.
We've heard about the good, the bad,
and the ugly.
All right, so tell our viewers a little bit of what we have seen, heard.
My dear, adoption is a good thing. You know, when you have the heart to take care of somebody else's child and they make that child your own, it's a good thing. Train the child, teach the child all they're supposed to know in life so that they can have a better future. So that's a good thing, anybody that have a heart to do that. But when we talk, because you have said legal and illegal ways, so let's start with the illegal, right?
We'll start with the legal.
The legal ways?
Oh no, the legal will be the solution.
Let's talk about the legal ways.
Let's start with the illegal. And then we'll end with the legal.
Okay, that sounds good too.
Yes.
All right. So she said let's start with the illegal ways of adoption in Africa or in any other place. The illegal way, when you're doing things illegal, you are already not going through the proper channel.
That's true.
So that was I still have to divert over to the legal way, because if you are adopting a child or have an intention to adopt the child, you know that there have to be a government representative, an agency that you have, that an authentic agency that you have to go through the proper protocols as to be able to get a child that you can nourish, you can cherish, you can train. But if you are going through the back door, getting a child from a doctor who is supposed to deliver a baby and hand the child over to the parent, you get the child before even the mother wake up, you're doing something wrong. You're stealing. That's an illegal way of adopting a child. Actually, you bought the child. So if you are going through a middleman, the kidnappers, to get a child and then pay them a particular amount of money going through the middleman, the child is crying. The mother is crying. So you will not be at peace because of the way you get that child from the parent. That's an illegal way of getting a child, and that's an illegal way of adoption. So we'll throw it over to my friend before I continue.
Thank you so much, my friend, for what you said so far. And I know a lot of viewers will be wondering, why are we diving into this topic? I mean, recently we've had news of people that are stealing children. Well, when I say children, that means they're grown. They are stealing babies, newborns. They are stealing them. And that's why we brought this topic up. Because I know some of us are biological parents. And we know what it takes to carry a child for 9 months in your stomach. To wake up and that child is gone. I think it's very traumatizing, not only to the mother, but to the child himself or herself. So the people that are going around stealing these children, which is an illegal way of adopting a child, I know they would justify it and they said, oh, someone is going to adopt the child. That's why you stole the child. But you have robbed the newborn of his or her happiness. Because a newborn knows who his or her mom is. So when you steal a child and think that, oh, the child doesn't even know the biological parent, it's a lie. Because a baby can smell the mother. So you can't pretend that you're the mother and you have deprived the poor baby of the biological mother. So what we're saying in terms of adoption, the illegal ways, which we've had so many times in Africa, it's heartbreaking, like we said, because not only are you hurting the mother, you're hurting the child. And I call it more like a stolen, when police chase people, they said people have stolen properties. Now you have a stolen child in your house and you're raising a stolen child. So who are you?
A thief.
A thief. So you can't call yourself a mom. Oh, you have a baby. No, you are a thief. Because now in your house, you are in possession of a stolen child. So you're a criminal.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're right.
So, my friend, I have so much to say, but I think I'll throw it back
so much to say. Like you said, when you steal something, sometimes, if you think you're not a real criminal, I don't know how you describe criminals. Like my friend said, once you're in possession of something that is not rightfully yours, you might pay the money. The person you pay the money is not the parent of that child. And in a way, you have robbed them of their happiness. They will have sleepless nights. Not only that they steal the child or they take the child, they don't even know the child's name.
Exactly.
They will end up changing the child's identity. You will give the child your own name. And some of them lie to their husbands.
Oh, yeah.
And pretend to be pregnant.
Exactly.
And then when the child they come, they will be in the hospital. That's where the child will be delivered to them. And guess what? A lot of people are involved in this business. Even the hospital you think you're going to be, or your aunt or your cousin or your friend, where you're going to be until the baby is delivered to you. All of you connived with a helpless child to rob that child of their heritage, their lineage, and their identity. So before you pay somebody to get you a child that is not yours, that you were not mentally prepared for, because the mother for 9 months had that connection with the child. They are bonded. The mother been preparing, but you are just here. You will get a phone call, the baby is by the door. You're wrong. You don't even know what to do with the baby. So there are other ways too to adopt a child, right?
Exactly.
You can be a financial parent to a child or a group of people, or you go to a motherless baby's home and that's okay. This particular child, I'm going to be taking care of this child. Whatever it will cost to take this child to university, to feed this child, to clothe this child, and then you talk to the child once in a while as the child grows. So you are still a parent. That child will not forget you. Might they have to leave you to...
I know, this is so emotional that, sometimes you go to the legal side and you go back to the illegal side. It's extremely emotional. Because I look at it this way. I know, because sometimes I start thinking, I said, what are the forces that are driving people to do this? And it goes back to money. I know people sell commodity to get money. They do so many things, especially, illegal things that people do to get money in Africa. But for Christ's sake, we're talking about human beings. So these are not commodities that, you're using it more like a means of making money. You go to the hospitals, you steal a baby, and then you run out to sell the baby. People talked about slavery. And everybody, when you hear about the word slavery, you feel so bad. How can somebody go and take somebody and subject them to so much hardship? But look at you. In this era, 21st century, you are stealing a baby, which is even worse than, similar to slavery, but even worse because you're talking about a child, a baby.
Worse than armed robbery.
and you're selling a baby to get money.
And then when that happens, they do child dedication to God.
Exactly.
They go into the husband is happy, everybody is happy.
The one that is buying the baby.
The biological parents are in agony.
Exactly.
They don't know what happened. How could this happen? And then you over there rejoicing with a baby that is not yours. Have a heart.
Exactly.
Robbing a child of their identity, their lineage, is so critical to the extent when that child will grow up, that child might have a sibling that they have to go now and start romancing each other. Exactly. Get married to that particular person, not knowing it's the biological sister. So we have to think about the implications. If you adopt a child, keep the last name of that child, right? You have to know the last name of the child you're taking. You have to know the name the parent gave the child. You can keep that name if you love the child, and then give a child a pet name you want to call the child. But let the birth certificate bear the accurate name of this child, in case one day he can run into his own biological parent. If you love that child, you think that child is yours, you're the best person to raise the child, not the parent. So keep those ones. That's the only thing the child have in his life that you can live for him. Please do not rob the little child. You rob them from their parent. Now you want to take the last thing that they know that this is who they are. So that's one thing I have to let you know, the implication on the child that you took. Leave their last name for them. Leave their name the parent give them. If you were able to get them, when they are already given a name and every other thing. But some of you go as far as the child was born. You don't know the last name. You don't know their
medical history.
Health history.
Exactly.
Some of them are from a crazy family. You don't care. Sickle cell. You don't care. And you don't know anything about the child. And then eventually, what's supposed to be a happy occasion for you will take you back and forth to the doctor.
That's true.
And because you do not know exactly the family history, the health history of this child. Do it the right way, my dear.
Thank you. I think you're throwing it the right way anyway. So now we're going to the legal ways of adopting a child. I know, in Africa, when people are married, everyone expects them to have children. That's right. And after so many years, if they don't have children, people get annoyed and they said, personally, we live in the Western world. We've seen couples with no children, which is not a problem because it's not every woman that bears a child. It could be biological, it could be medical reasons, it could be for so many reasons. But in our place, it looks like more like a taboo when a woman doesn't give birth to a child. But what we have seen living in the Western world is that these couples that do not have children, they adopt legally. And they do it with open hearts because the intention is just to give a home to a child that maybe came from a poor family that they cannot afford their education. So they don't do it like a backyard business or stealing, doing all these things that our people are doing in the name of having a child. Because it's almost like showing off, like we said about cars, about houses. Children are not meant for you to just use them to show off. Because unfortunately, even many people that adopt these children, they don't even take care of them. They hire maid, they do. So it's not that they want to get the joy of motherhood.
That's right.
They just want to show to their friends that I have a child, and that's why they steal those children. Okay, so in that case, if you decided with your husband and said, okay, I want to adopt a child, or maybe, for one reason or the other, you have boys, you want to adopt a girl, you have girls, so you want to adopt a boy, do it the legal way. Because what you're doing is that you want to give someone, a child, a good home. Go to the parents. Even Westerners here, what they do sometimes when they're adopting, they go to the parents. So the child knows exactly who the adoptive parents are and who the biological parents are.
That's right.
And sometimes even the two families walk hand in hand. And then the ones that are adopting from motherless baby home with children do not have, they don't know their identity. At least you go through the proper channel. And I'm telling you, when you do it the right way, you will be happy. Because not only the child himself will be happy. A human being has soul. So even if you trick a child and the child will pretend, oh, I'm the mother, and the mother. After a while, when the child grows up, I'm telling you, he or she will find out From one way or the other, the child will find out. And then it's most of you, even sometimes when you find out, it becomes such a major problem in the house because you did it the wrong way. So please, legally, let's just throw out some of the ideas that you could do legally to adopt a child. You have the motherless baby home that you can go to. And then you have the...
You can go to the parent.
Exactly. You can go to the parent.
Difficulty.
Yes. And adopt a child. And then there's other ways, actually, that people can be parents. Because it doesn't mean that you have to take that child and keep that child in your house. What we have seen in the Western world is that, let's say you don't have children, you might decide to adopt someone financially. Adopting someone financially is that maybe, once again, it's a poor family. You're like, all right, I will raise this boy to a certain level in life. You can even pay his school fees in elementary school, pay in secondary school, and pay in the university if you have money. And I'm telling you, when that child grows up, he or she will remember you as a parent. So he or she might even have two parents. One will be a financial parent, and the other one is biological parent.
That's right.
And I'm telling you, that child will treat you like a parent. So, I mean, these are things that you have to, think about. And if you're going to the hospitals to adopt a child, once again, go through the mother legally. I mean, it's not, and unfortunately, we hear that the young girls too are selling their babies just to get money. Well, my friend, I know I'm going from one side to another. Please, I'll throw it back to you so that you can take it from there.
We are still on the legal way of adopting a child. Like my friend said, in some cultures, they always look at the woman as the one who cannot give a birth. But sometimes it's the man's fault too. Maybe they have their own medical issues that need to be corrected. But I'm still appealing to mother-in-laws and father-in-laws, sister-in-laws. Leave the couples alone. Let them figure out. Both of them, maybe the doctor already tell them what is going on or what are their options. But do not continue to blame your sister-in-law or your daughter-in-law. That is her fault. Sometimes you push them to the extent they have to do the unthinkable. So that being said, the wife, do not let anybody make you become a criminal, because if you get caught, you will be the one to go to jail, not them. So
and then the husband will get married to somebody else.
Oh yeah. So that being said, you can still be a foster parent.
That's true.
Because foster parenting means, like my friend said, if you see like a couple have too many children and they're having problem or whatever, don't take that child as a house help. Don't take that child as a maid. You can take one of their child. That child, if you like, that child can call you mommy. That child can call you auntie. But have the mind that you're raising a child and you're doing it for God's sake. If you do good, the child succeed. Congress and concern, that child will see you as a divine helper in his or her life. Despite the fact that he have biological parent, he will still say, this is my mommy because you, and this is my daddy. And people around will look at that child, even the way you treat the child, and say that's your child. Unless right inside you say you're not my child, then that child will be behaving the same way. The way you take the child in, whatever you do to that child, that will make the child to treat you the same way. And that child might open up ways for you too to start having your own children.
That's true.
Rather than going through the wrong channel. So when you want to do that, that means the parent have to consent. They have to give their consent. They have to bless that going away, going with you. And then you get in touch with them. So two parents can raise a child instead of you alone doing it and you don't know how. If that child don't eat, you can call the mother and say, this is what I'm experiencing. What is going on? Look at what is going on. The mother can talk to that child and they say, look, this is your mother now. You act right. So another way, if you go to motherless babies home and get a child, make sure you go through the proper channel too, because you can go behind the director or those in charge to go through a little corner to get. By then you won't sign the appropriate document. Make sure that all the appropriate documentation is being made. And when you take that child, make sure that child, you treat the child as a human being, Treat the child as your own. Don't talk down on the child, telling the child where you pick him or her up from the gutter. Because when you start talking like that, that child will start questioning, why do my mommy refer me as picking me up from the gutter? The child will know.
Exactly.
So don't worry about what people are going to tell that child. Your treatment towards that child will tell the child everything the child want to know. So adopt through a proper way. If you have a heart, you have a room, give a child a chance. Like my friend said, financially you can raise a child if you know you cannot, on a daily basis, take care of a child. Adopt a child but by paying the school fees. Adopt a child emotionally, giving them advice, telling them what to do, what is out there for a child to do to be who he or she want to be. Or you can be a spiritual advisor to this child. Encourage the child in the Lord. Let the child know that you care. If the child need any advice, that child can come to you, and that child will never forget you. My friend.
Thank you so much, my friend. I love all the areas that you touched. And I'm just pleading with our government. I know sometimes people say that it's very expensive to adopt babies in Africa. And the motherless baby homes place. I mean, if there's a price that people pay to adopt these children, our government and those homes, you can reduce it to the price that people can afford. They're not buying children. All you're doing is just, these are more like an incentive or things that you're like getting money so that you can use that money to help other children that are there. So you shouldn't make the price so high, then it looks like only wealthy people can adopt children. Because the intention, especially these children that are in motherless baby homes, I mean, the intention is to place them where people will love them. So if you keep them there, let's say if you have 100 of them, and then you keep them in those homes, no one is taking care of them. You're raising them more like a group,
a group home.
Then I don't think the children are benefiting that much. No. They're lacking that motherly love. So bring the price down. I mean, let it be something that they will give the homes, not like buying a child. And then the government, with the bureaucracy, you have to fill out this form and do this, make things a little bit easier. Because if you really love these children, you should, be quick to find them homes where they will be comfortable, where they will have that motherly love. That's the intention. So it's not using them as money-making machine. People have to bring thousands of dollars or millions of dollars to take these children. Because like I said, if you keep them there, you can keep them there forever. And it's not going to benefit you, and it's not going to benefit the children. So you might as well make it easy for people to adopt them. And then the ones that are adopting, we've seen many, even in the Western world. Adopting children, like I said before, it's not just showing off, showing people that, I have a child in the house. You vouch to be a mother. Be a mother. Take care of that child. Take care of the child very well, even if it is not your biological children. Because we've heard about people that adopt these children and they abuse them, which is not good. So if you have it in your heart to be a mother, be a mom. Don't just don't just go and get a child as if it's a business. A child is not a commodity. A child is a human being. So treat a child as you would like your nephews, your nieces, and people that are connected to you biologically, that you would like them to be treated. So I don't know what else we will say, my friend.
Dear, you said something about the government getting involved. Actually, the government shouldn't charge money.
Okay.
It could be like a little money for administrative fee that is standard. You understand? So that it won't be like we are selling the child too. For documentation, paper purposes, yes. On that note, I still have to ask the government to establish a social service system.
That's a great
where before you take a child in, to avoid abuse, your home had to be inspected. They have to go unannounced to see who you are, where you live. And they find out what you do for a living, because if you're not doing anything or your behavior is a little bit somehow, people around know.
That's true.
So they shouldn't give you a child to take care of. And so, like you said, those that are a little bit grown in the motherless babies home, some of these people, they come with money, give to whoever is there, because that I have seen or heard, I have heard about that. They adopt them and use them as sex slaves.
Oh.
They adopt them and use them as a baby factory. So that's where most of those children they're using for baby factory, because they're grown. Now they don't know what to do. Now they realize exactly their identity, that their biological mother they cannot figure out. These children are confused. So government have to do better by establishing a social service system that will look into this adoption business. If before a parent adopt a child or a couple adopt a child, they need to know exactly where this couple live. They have to pay some visit to that home to know if that child is still there, or did the person sell it to somebody else. You understand? And then at the same time know that if that child is well kept, because if not, they can take that child again and give to people that really need a child to take care of. So that's where the government fit in. You can't leave the children that are already homeless, that have nothing, no help. They don't even know their identity, and they make them mandatory. You do not change a child's last name. You do not change a child's first name. Leave that biological name in case the mother can get up one day and want that child back. Leave that an open adoption thing. Leave it open, so at least for 5 years. If the mother don't come back, then you can raise that child forever. But if the mother somehow come back, get a job, get a home, then you can do, two of you can parent that child. So that the mother, even if the mother don't tell the child, I'm your mother, then the mother can be involved in that child's life. So I think with that, there will be check and balances when it comes to adoption in Africa.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Actually, what came to my mind is this. I know in Africa we talk about children. That means everyone should have a child. However, they can get a child. But look at it this way, actually. Let's say, there's some couples that do not have children. And then what you could do when you get older, you have nieces, you have nephew. That's what we hear in the Western world. Let's say you're very wealthy, because what Africans say is that, who will take care of my house? Who will take care of my land?
Will to charity.
Who will take care of this? What they do in the Western world, actually, is that they will those things. If you have your favorite cousin or somebody, even let's say your brother, if your brother has so many children, you can will those things to their children. Even your beautiful house, you can will it. And let me tell you this, which a lot of people are not even thinking about that much. Most African children, where are they? Especially the wealthy ones. Even when they adopt these children, when they grow up, they send them overseas. And then when they get old and die, those houses, people sell them. Nobody takes care of those houses. So think of it, actually. Don't kill yourself or kill people or to go through dubious ways trying to get a child. If God gives you a child, take care of that child. If you're going to adopt legally. And then if you don't have children, it's okay. When you get older, will your property, will everything to someone, because once you die, you're not taking anything up there. And even sometimes people that have a lot of children, many of them, like we said, have deserted the compound. And
sometimes they fight over those properties or sell it.
That's true. So don't kill yourself, especially women. If you can have children, fine. If you cannot, live your life happily. A lot of people live life without having children. It's not, it's not a resume, like, how many children do you have? When you get to heaven, they will check it off. How many did you? It does not matter. Those are just showing off that we're doing in this world. Please, leave these babies alone to their mothers, especially the ones that are stealing. You're robbing the child of her happiness. You think you're bringing that child to your house to raise the child? What you're doing, you are making life miserable for the child. The child knows that you're not the biological parent. So if you steal that child and bring that child in the house and think you will give her the whole world and make her happy, inside her, he or she knows very well that you stole her. And then the ones that are adopted legally. My friend,
My friend, the word is enough for the wise. Another thing, when you think you get a child, you stole it like that. That your friend that gave you the connection is still alive. Then eventually you are living in bondage. Because if you do anything, that will be a nightmare for you. Because that friend is ready and willing
to tell the world.
To tell the whole world. That friend will tell her own children, and her own children is going to tell that child in school.
That's true.
So that's why you don't do things like that, because there is no secret when you are doing something under this earth. Somebody somewhere will know. Somebody will give the child the information, even if you don't want to do it. So do the right thing. Do not change the child's identity. Do not change the birth certificate. Do not change the child's lineage or heritage. Keep connected with whoever the parent is, so that at the end, everybody will live happily ever after. You will be a mother of a child that will love you more than you even expect. But if you hide all those things from the child, that will be a nightmare you will not forget. Even at your deathbed, you will say you should had you known. So let us think twice before we go take or steal what don't belong to us, especially when it comes to human beings.
That's true. And actually, we're done. But while my friend was talking, there was another area. Actually, she mentioned it, but I want us to go a little bit into it. The baby factory. Exactly, the baby factory. I know a lot of our viewers from other parts of Africa might not know what baby factory means. Unfortunately, baby factory in some parts of Africa means that they go out and get young girls of childbearing age, and then they bring them into homes, almost kidnap them. So they keep them there, and then they will bring 2 or 3 men that will come and sleep with these young girls, and then the young girls will be having babies. And once again, they will start selling these babies to people that are buying babies outside. That's what baby factory is in some parts of Africa. And it's a very unfortunate things that people are doing. They're not thinking about these young girls that are kidnapped. They're not even thinking about the young babies that are being stolen. And even the men that are getting these young girls pregnant are not even thinking that these are their seeds that they are planted in these girls and these children. It's almost like their family. They are throwing their own family away because it's their seed that is going, that they don't even know where the children are going. It's very unfortunate. They think that they're cheating people, but they are cheating themselves. And then the ones that are, the ones that are arranging these homes, like, because there's owners. You have owners of this factory, you have the girls, you have the men, and then you have the babies involved. You're talking about a lot of people involved. So the people that are really what is it called? Almost like the kingpin behind this terrible crime. I want you to think of it this way. Many of you, and unfortunately, most of the crimes in Africa, I know the people that they usually catch, or, most of the time are like the ones that are involved. But most of the time, they're kingpin that are behind them. And these are very rich people that no one sees. But I'm going to speak to you wherever you are, because I know you're very wealthy. You have the telephone and you have, internet and everywhere. So you are watching us. I want you to understand this. If you have a daughter and someone takes your daughter and put your daughter in one of those homes, how would you feel? So those young girls there, those are people's children. And then, so no matter how much money you're making from there, I want you to look at yourself as a criminal. And it's not too late for you to stop that act. You can stop it, please, so that you can leave these young girls alone, so that they can get married and have a good life, and stop stealing children from their mothers. And then those children, they are crying, they are human beings. So you whisk them away, almost like slavery, and they will never see their family again. My dear friend, it's very emotional. I want you to take it from here.
No, we are done. We are done. This side you get to now.
Okay.
Let's leave it the way it is.
Exactly.
So it's okay.
Okay. All right. So we'll address it next time.
No problem.
We'll get a little deeper because it's very emotional. Once again, we thank you for being our listener at our Sweet Home Africa, where we bring out some of the challenges that we're going true in Africa, and then we offer simple advice that we believe will help our people and the government. I believe that our continent is such a great continent. If we can, mend our ways a little bit and then make life better for both the rich and the poor.
And then we talk about the middlemen.
Exactly.
We need to create the middlemen to bridge the gap.
That's true. All right. So watch us next week.
Yeah, that's Sweet Home Africa. Thank you so very much. Subscribe if you have not. But if you have, continue to forward it to friends and well-wishers. All right. And if this is the first time you're watching us, know that this show, the program comes out once a week. And you keep on watching us, give us your comment. And, if you have any suggestions, we are open for it because we're here to make Africa the best continent it will be.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you. See you next week.
At our Sweet Home Africa.